Hello. Now the tank is assembled. Now it needs to be put on 2 shock absorbing springs. Then we will continue to assemble the washing machine. Start the tank from the bottom and sideways. Now we put on the lower shock absorbers. Draw the crutch into the hole, both on the one hand and on the other. The shock absorber is considered to be securely dressed if you hear the click of the latch. We put on the drain pipe, wring out the clamp with pliers, push the pipe, and unclench the clamp. We put on the main drain pipe and tighten the clamp with a screwdriver. We insert the drain into the hole. It is also pressed with the clamp. We fasten the hose to the tank body, screw the screw from below. We fix the drain to the opening of the washing machine with long screws. We screw the drain plug on the thread. We put the washing machine on its side and we see a lot of rust below. It needs to be removed, as the rust will progress further. We take a solvent or acetone, dip it in a cloth, clean the rust. I will not remove all the rust, but I will clean the main plaque. Also, the water receiver, very dirty and rusty. We also clean it with a solvent. We also clean the door of the washing machine from rust. There is also a problem with closing the doors. The doors do not latch and the wash does not start. In this case, you need to unscrew the door lock by unscrewing 2 screws. And with the solvent, clean the rust formed in the lock and around the lock of the door. In my case, there was so much rust that I could hardly peel off the rust from the lock. We clean the solvent from rust here, raise the doors and clean it here. We clean the circumference of the glass. We also clean the door lock. Now you can put the lock back in its original position. Now the doors will close again like new ones. If necessary, if the rust does not come off well, we clean it with sandpaper, zeroing. And then clean with solvent. Next, we attach the wires to the tank with a screw. Just do not confuse them, because it will be difficult to pick up the other connector. Screws on plastic should be with a large thread pitch. Now we install the chips on the heating element, yellow on the right, thick in the middle, red on the left. This is grounding. Next, install the chips on the motor stator. Now install the winding in its place. Attach the stator wires to the tank. We tighten the wires with plastic clamps so that they do not interfere. Now we put on the winding, the starter cover. Now the tank is bent and touches the body of the machine, but do not worry. As soon as we install the counterweight, the tank will be in its normal position. Now, with the nozzle at 17 and a wrench, we tighten the bolt. On the other hand, hold the tank with your hand. You can also ask another person to hold the tank. Now we install the housing cover. The picture should be at the top. To prevent the wires from hanging out, we tighten the wires with a plastic clamp. We clean the solvent from dirt and plaque of the cups of the tank. We also clean the cup fastening spring from rust. Now we install and fasten the counterweight with the nozzle for 10, and with the crank. The side counterweights are installed. Now we install and fasten the upper counterweight. Next, install the door lock. The chip should look down. Tighten it with screws. The lock began to snap into place after cleaning from rust. Now we install the door panel on the body. First we put on the door lock chip. We connect the door panel with the body with screws. The door panel is installed. Now we roll back the cups. It should lie strictly along the rims. Now we put on the cup fastening spring, stretch it with 2 screwdrivers and install it. We look so that the spring does not cling to anything. Now the door closes and opens perfectly. Now we put on the bottom cover of the front panel. It snaps into place easily. We screw in the screw. Next, we put on the water intake pipe, fasten it with a clamp, put it on the water receiver. We dress the upper hose on the clamp. The water receiver is installed. We put the chips on the relay, blue on the left, red on the right. Now we install the chips on the electronic control unit and snap the panel into the case. We dress the cover of the receiver by pressing the finger down. We check the correct installation of the control unit. Insert the plug into the network. The unit works fine. We put on the top cover. Just settle it and push it towards ourselves. Fix it with screws from the back. Now we check the washing machine in test mode. Before checking it is necessary to connect the hose to the supply and drain. We turn it on, put it in the rinse and spin mode, turn on the start. The water has gone. There are no leaks. 2 minutes left. I tested 18 minutes at 400 RPM. There is no noise. The technique works perfectly. Thank you all for your attention. Put likes, subscribe to the channel. All the best, goodbye.